In a world where customer experience matters, you have embraced the Venterra customer experience and continue to create touching and memorable moments for our residents. Incredible stories have been told over the year, and they truly make a difference in the lives of everyone around you. Stories that go beyond the initial interaction and become life-changing events.
I was promoted. My boss was moving into the Houston area, and he was going to take me with him. That would mean I would have to leave the Point. After 8 years of living in the Point, I would have to leave the Point. Did not want to do that. I went to Krista, gave her the sad news, and she said, well, let's see what we can do to find you another Venterra property if you so wish to. And I thought, really, you guys do that? She goes, oh yeah, we're gonna do that for you. I didn't think anybody would remember me, but I should have known better, because upon walking in, immediately Kimberly walks up to me and she goes, hi, Virgilio. And I thought to myself, you're kidding me. You remember my name? I cannot believe that not only one Venterra property, but two, and then finally Bollywood's as a third, all helped me out in my apartment needs. And I appreciated that.
My dear husband Joe and I are getting on in years, and he's been sick several times for different things, and one of them put him in a wheelchair. Joe and I were talking, and Joe was saying how much he needed a haircut. We soon got a phone call from the girls in the office. They said that there was a girl, another resident, who had just graduated from beauty school and would be coming over to cut Joe's hair. I was so touched by this that I just started crying right there on the phone. I'm so thankful for them and so glad we live here.
It's never easy when you lose someone, especially not your best friend and the love of your life. To try and move on, I decided to sell the house and move somewhere that was closer to my little granddaughters. The girl who showed me the apartment was very patient with me, even as I went on and on about my granddaughters who were there with me. She was so friendly and sweet to my granddaughters, and I had to choose the Landings as my new home. After moving in, they surprised me with gift cards to Chuck E. Cheese, Build-A-Bear, so that I could spend a fun day with my granddaughters.
Our overall experience at our property has been positive, with a few minor hiccups. The news of a new management company acquiring the property was timely and welcomed. Our AC unit began to break down in July, and our maintenance requests began to escalate because the problems were never resolved. The new manager called me, even though she was on vacation, and was a breath of fresh air. She is a shining example of customer service and care.
This one time, I went in to pick up a package from the office. A couple of NASCAR posters I ordered. I showed them to the manager. We got talking about racing, and I told her how much I hated it, that Houston didn't have a track anymore, and that I was having to drive to Dallas to get my NASCAR fix. I was telling her about my plans in April. Some of my buddies and I were putting together a trip to get up there to see the races. She got quiet, smiled at me, and she said, I'd love to purchase the tickets for you. I was shocked.
We started going into the office 2 or 3 times a week after our morning walk, just to talk. One day, just before we were going to leave, one of the girls pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay with Alfredo. I told her no, it wasn't. He has Alzheimer's, and it's beginning to get worse. She told me to let her know if there was anything she could do to help, and that she was there. You can imagine my surprise when there was a knock at the door, and it was the manager giving us a new digital camera and a photo album to go with it. She said she wanted to help make memories for us that Alfredo could look at and remember. I started to cry. We have an upcoming trip to Argentina, which will give us a perfect chance to try it out. Thank you so much.
I got laid off from my job and then lost everything I owned. I needed a fresh start. Starting over is never easy, especially since all I've got is my clothes and a few other things I was able to get away with. Basically what I could fit into my car. I go to move in and my fear took over. I got to the office and the girl was really sweet and excited for me. She asked if I was excited and I said, not really. I lay awake all night wondering what I'm going to sleep on, what I'm going to cook with, and where I'm going to sit. She just smiled and said it was going to be okay. We walked over to the apartment and I opened the door. I see, sitting in the living room, a futon, and I'm confused. As we walked around, I saw that the kitchen was stocked with pots, pans, and utensils. I turned and asked if this was a demo apartment. She smiled big and said, no, this is your home. This lifted a huge weight off of my shoulders. It touched my heart. I am thankful.
Well, I moved into a property and I loved the apartment, and the office staff was so friendly and accommodating. I had a problem with AC though. I'm 90% blind in both eyes, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get the AC to work properly and maintain a constant temperature in the apartment. The maintenance guy came right over, checked the whole system. It was working fine. Apparently I wasn't getting the temperature correctly. I don't know. But here's where it gets good. He came back a couple days later to install a voice-activated thermostat. I can change and set my temperature in my apartment just by talking to it. I really want to thank you.
I was recently a victim of identity theft that left me in a real financial bind and not able to buy fall and winter clothes for my 3-year-old grandson Xavier. I was blown away when Christine and Juana gave me a brand new outfit for each day of the week for Xavier.
I'm a single dad with big expenses. I had to fly my 3 kids to Michigan and back for the summer, plus buy school supplies and school clothes. Carla knew about my struggles and bought 2 gift cards to help with the costs. I couldn't have done it without her help.
I'm a new resident at Wilshire Place, and I was recently at risk of losing my job, along with my $187,000 retirement. My employer forced me to take tests on Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and Excel in order to keep my job. I had given away my laptop to an older lady that needed it, so I frequented the office business center to practice. That's when Myra took interest in my situation and began teaching me all kinds of Microsoft Office tricks. She even bought me a new laptop with all the Microsoft tools already installed that I could practice at home. Thank you, Myra, for caring.
A few months ago, my wife died and I was in a really bad place. And Crystal and Melanie in the office, I was down there paying the rent, and I told them that I wasn't eating much. And the next time I went to the office, they said they had a gift for me, and they gave me a package of spaghetti and some spaghetti sauce and a gift certificate to one of those places that ship food directly to you. And I thought that was the kindest, sweetest thing, because I was just struggling with everyday life, and here were 2 people that I didn't know that well that really went out of their way to make a difference in my life. So they're superheroes in my book. And then in the weeks and months that followed, there were times that I just didn't leave the apartment much. And so I'd go to the office sometimes just to have some human interaction. And I apologized to them for interrupting them. And they always said, "No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, come see us anytime." And you just don't get people that care that often in life. And so they're definitely superheroes in my book.
When the management at Monticello Townhomes changed and Erin became the manager, I had no idea that I would make such an amazing friend. Her smile just made me feel better. I did not see her real often, but when I did, she always had time for a little visit. On one of these visits in December of 2013, I was telling her about my car being broken into and my briefcase being stolen. I never gave the conversation another thought, but the next time I went into the office, Erin gave me a new day timer and a gift certificate along with a big hug. She felt so bad that my briefcase had been stolen. I indeed was overwhelmed by her kindness and thoughtfulness. In April 2014, I was diagnosed with a very aggressive breast cancer. My whole world crumbled upon hearing the diagnosis. I talked to Erin about it, and she was so sweet and concerned, telling me that she would be thinking about me and praying for me, and that she would help me through my journey ahead in any way she could. And she did just that. I had a mastectomy, chemotherapy, and 33 radiation treatments. My battle was met with a very serious setback, resulting in 5 surgeries in 10 months. Through the entire time, I was blessed with phone calls and emails from Erin. She gave me so much hope and encouragement during the darkest time in my life. While I was out of town, Erin saw to it that my plants were watered and had my home cleaned. She and her team sent me beautiful pink roses with a card signed by everyone. In February 2015, praise God, I was told I was cancer-free. I was going to be back in Fort Worth in March and was transferred to another unit. Erin and her team arranged for a moving service to move us, and also she gave us a gift certificate for a new couch. In 2015, Erin and her team ran the Susan G. Komen race in my honor, all wearing team shirts designed by Erin. Due to circumstances beyond our control, my husband and I moved in May of 2015. I was really sad to leave my family at Monticello. I thank God that Erin and I crossed paths. She is a very special person. Her kindness, love, and generosity are unending. I am truly honored to call her my friend.
Customer experience excellence has become part of the fabric of our organization. Sometimes all it takes is access to one kind, caring person to turn someone's life around. You are that kind, caring person. Thank you for continuously raising the bar on what customer experience should be and for your ongoing commitment to provide a better way of living.